Joining me on the show today from Christchurch, Aotearoa, the wonders of Zoom, Nicky and Jay Geldard from E Tū Tāngata. Good morning, good afternoon to you both. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Lizzie.
Kia ora.
Great to connect with you. So you guys, the focus is on tackling tall poppy syndrome. Is that right?
Yeah, we've that's not more than we can chew. We're trying to shift the culture of New Zealand.
Yeah, just, it's quite a big mountain to climb. But firstly, hooray, because I actually hate tall poppy syndrome with a passion. So I guess maybe you feel the same way?
Yeah, we're over the culture of criticism that exists in this country, and we get the privilege of sort of naming the elephant in the room and opening people's eyes to what the problem is. And people actually also have had enough.
Yeah, that's good. So you've been on this journey from, is it something like 2018? Am I right?
Yeah, it's gone fast.
Yeah. And you were youth workers before, or maybe you still are. And I understand that you're working with young people and you're just hearing a bunch of stuff that made you think, we need to do something. We need to shift something here. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we took a break, went over to the UK with our family, and then people said to us, you guys do youth work in New Zealand? How easy is that? And then as we described the climate of New Zealand and actually how 1 in 4 young people are anxious, fatigued, depressed, and our suicide rate's one of the highest in the world, they looked at us and said, oh, this doesn't add up. And so this led us on a journey to go, actually, what's happening in New Zealand? What is the thing that's causing so much harm? And we realized that actually tall poppy syndrome is something that has been part of our culture. We've named it, we've shamed it. People will leave the country because of it. But actually at no point have we said, do we want this to be part of our culture?
Yeah. Just briefly, do we even know where it comes from? Has it got something to do with our pioneering history of number 8 wire and...
Yeah, we think so. From the research that we've done, it just suggests that because we came from predominantly from the United Kingdom, and there was a class system there, and then when we came over to New Zealand, there was a sense that people didn't want that anymore. So that egalitarian kind of everybody is equal thing sort of rose up. And that's kind of where tall poppy syndrome has been birthed from in terms of New Zealand culture anyway. And just the way that if someone sticks their head up, we're pretty quick to chop them down. And if someone has a dream or an aspiration, we're like, nah, and, we bandy around terms like try hard or you're a sweat or something like that. And yeah, it's not a nice part of our culture.
It's not.
So, yeah, it'd be awesome if we could change it because it's very deeply ingrained in us as a nation.
Yeah, and there was one thing where, you were asking some young people if they'd rather be insulted or somebody say something nice, and most of them wanted to be insulted. Was that right?
Yeah, we've discovered that in New Zealand culture, giving and receiving compliments isn't common, and so we'd actually rather be called a negative, ripped out, those negative comments where the more we rip you out, the more we love you.
Yeah.
And so it's become we've become accustomed to it that now we've got a problem where we can't even give each other compliments. And so that's what we're trying to address with this.
Well, I'm going to give you a compliment. You both look great in your reddy, orangey tops. Nice and colourful there.
It looks like we're coordinated this morning.
You are coordinated. So how's it going then? How is turning the giant of tall poppy syndrome going? Is it sort of teaspoon by teaspoon?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting journey. In the early days, we actually got a number of sports people on board. Like we're really fortunate. Jay has this uncanny knack of sitting next to people on aeroplanes. So Steve Hansen was one of them. And then Steve Hansen sort of opened the door for other conversations. So we ended up with a whole lot of quite well-known Kiwi sports people sort of on the waka with us. But from that point, we've really moved into schools.
Yeah.
It's been the place where, in terms of cultural formation, schools are pretty good at that, and they're obviously working with the next generation. So we sort of thought, well, if we put our energies into working with schools and young people, then hopefully we can change this for the future generations to come.
Yeah, and how are the schools and things receiving the program that you've got?
It's been amazing.
We feel like we're drinking from a fire hydrant in the sense of us coming at us so fast. We we're getting a school signing up to E Tū Tāngata once a fortnight, and then every day a new school reaches out to us wanting help, wanting to know more. So we are just trying to, like, I feel like our little legs are going underwater. Like, we look calm, but actually under the surface, our legs are going, because it's a word in season.
Yes.
And the real message is that people have worth. And if you have worth and you know who you are, you won't cut others down.
Yeah.
And that message is really connecting with people across the country. And that's why I think is, like, exciting.
It's really exciting. It's overdue. So well done, you two, for being brave, because I'm sure it hasn't been easy, right? Big changes for you and your family.
Lots of ups and downs. I think one of the other things is that we've really tried to keep the bicultural integrity of it as well.
Right.
So it's sort of really homegrown from New Zealand, and we really wanted to introduce that to schools. And schools have really embraced the fact that this is Kiwi and this has got that bicultural integrity behind it. So yeah, it's been really good.
So tell me about Colour Your Day, which is coming up in 10 days' time on Friday, the 28th of March, Jay.
Yeah, so Colour Your Day is a day where we're encouraging every single Kiwi all across the country to wear something bright on February the 28th of March and stand up for standing out. And really what we're doing is we all wear dark colours often as Kiwis, but this standing out is sort of pushing back on the tall poppy syndrome and actually just be you.
Yes.
Wear something bright, stand out and support E Tū Tāngata. So the money you raise, we're trying to raise $50,000 to help us shift this culture of New Zealand, and we've been encouraged by the amount of schools and businesses all across the country that have signed up. So it's exciting.
That's really
I think
cool.
you said February.
So
he means Friday the 28th
I know.
of March.
Because if he'd said,
You said yeah.
That's all right. The 28th of February is my birthday, but that's long gone. So Friday, the 28th of March. And E Tū Tāngata, just tell us what that stands for.
E Tū is to stand, and tangata is people. So the imagery is around standing together.
Yeah.
And the sort of the image is around the tide lifts all boats. So rather than cutting others down to make yourself feel taller, let's actually flood the place and actually create some positive messages rather than hurting each other.
Yeah. Now, I know you've probably spoken to other media, but today it's a little different because you're speaking to Christian media, and I know you guys have got a faith. What would you like us to pray for you guys and your organisation?
Oh, I think it's a message that is really important for all people to hear, like to know that as humanity we have worth. And that would be a message. It would be great if people just prayed that people's ears would be open to hear, because it's a message everybody needs to hear, and it doesn't even really matter what your faith is or what your beliefs are.
Yeah.
It's super important that people know that they have worth. And then the thing that the spin-off from that is, if you know you have worth, then the person next to you has worth as well. And so I was talking to a principal earlier today, and she said, man, what a happy place it would be if everybody lived by those two rules. Like, I've got worth, the person next to me does too.
It's really simple, isn't it? That's actually
it's so simple.
Hang on, I feel like that's biblical. Love your neighbour as yourself, perhaps.
Oh yeah, if you read your Bible, you'll probably find a very similar message there.
Hey, so good to catch up with you guys today. And where can we find you to find out more?
You can go for Colour Your Day. You can go to colouryourday.nz and you can jump online and register and get and be a part of it.
Awesome. Colouryourday.nz. Jay and Nicky, so great to catch up with you. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Lizzie.
Thanks.